In just 7 days, these 7 habits completely reset my life. Yes, in only 1 week, my routine, my mindset, and even the way I approach each day changed drastically. And I promise, you can experience this transformation too. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt that need to start over? That urge to hit reset, like there's a button you could press to leave behind what isn't working and make room for something better? That's exactly what these habits did for me. They're more than just tips. They're practical steps I took, and you can apply them too. Because the truth is, we all have those moments when we need a fresh start. These habits brought me clarity, a sense of well-being, and a feeling of control that I didn't even realize I'd been missing. And in this video, I want to share it all with you. So, if you're ready for this transformation, press play, get comfortable, and don't skip a thing. Because at the end, I'll reveal one extra tip that made all the difference in my journey. Habit 1. Waking up with intention. The first habit that reset my life was waking up with intention. And let me be real with you, I was never a morning person. Getting out of bed early felt like a battle, and the snooze button was my best friend. But something shifted when I decided to give purposeful mornings a try. I started setting my alarm a bit earlier, and honestly, those first few days were tough. But over time, I realized the incredible impact that those extra minutes in the morning could have on my day. Waking up before everyone else, when the world is still calm, brings an almost magical sense of peace. And watching the sunrise, it's transformative. It was as if, for the first time, I was in sync with the rhythm of my day. Those extra moments allowed me to slow down and start my day the right way, without the usual rush. I took that time to do some light stretching to energize my body and center my mind. I also spent a few minutes setting my intentions for the day. Those calm moments didn't just boost my focus and productivity. They brought a sense of control and balance that I had never experienced before. But waking up early was just the beginning. This next habit had an incredible impact on my health and mood in ways I never expected. Habit 2. Moving your body. The second habit that had a transformative impact was simple but powerful: moving my body. I'll be honest, before this, I always found excuses to skip exercise. I'd tell myself I didn't have time, or that I was just too tired. But during this week of change, I made a commitment to spend at least 20 to 30 minutes moving every day. And what happened was amazing. I started with light activities, walking outdoors, some yoga poses, even basic stretches. Those first few days, I felt the usual discomfort and resistance. My body just wasn't used to it. But over time, something changed. Each day, I felt my body gaining more energy and strength. And the impact went far beyond the physical. Daily movement cleared my mind, made me feel less anxious, and helped me manage stress. One morning, while I was walking under the soft sunlight with a gentle breeze, I felt a sense of freedom that I hadn't felt in a long time. It was just me, the open road, and the sound of my footsteps. That connection with myself, being fully present, brought a sense of clarity and peace that carried through the rest of my day. Now, let's move on to a habit that many people overlook, but that played a crucial role in resetting my focus and productivity. Habit 3. Writing to uncover your thoughts. The third habit I adopted was writing to uncover my thoughts. I used to think that journaling was complicated, or only for people who had a lot of free time. But I realized that this practice is not only simple, but also a powerful tool for self-discovery. I started by dedicating just 5 to 10 minutes each day, usually at night. I'd write about what happened, how I felt, and even some of the challenges I faced. At first, it felt like I was just summarizing my day. But gradually, I began to see patterns. Moments that made me happiest, things that caused stress, and, most importantly, small victories that I might have otherwise overlooked. One night, while writing about a challenge I faced at work, I realized that the answer to handling it better was right there, hidden between the lines. This practice gave me clarity to better understand what I could change and where I was making progress. It was like having a conversation with myself, creating a space where I could be honest and transparent. This next habit was transformative, not just for my mind, but also for my body and the way I approach what I eat. Let's dive into that next. Habit 4. Mindful eating. The fourth habit that made a huge difference was mindful eating. Honestly, I had never really stopped to pay attention to how I ate. Most of the time, I'd rush through meals, phone in hand or distracted by something else, barely noticing what I was actually consuming. I decided it was time to change that. I started making an effort to be fully present with each meal, paying attention to the flavors, the textures, and even the aroma of the food. By slowing down and savoring each bite, I noticed something interesting. I enjoyed my food so much more and felt more satisfied without needing to eat as much. It was like rediscovering the flavors and sensations that food has to offer. This practice also helped me make healthier choices. When we pay attention to what we put on our plate and how we feel afterward, it's easier to choose foods that truly nourish us and make us feel good. I remember one particular day when I ate a simple salad with fresh vegetables and a light dressing. What used to seem like a plain meal turned into a moment of care and presence. This next habit might seem a bit radical to some, but it gave me a fresh perspective on how to balance my time and attention throughout the day. Habit 5. Disconnecting from screens. The fifth habit was one of the most challenging, but perhaps one of the most impactful: disconnecting from screens. The truth is, we're so used to spending hours in front of our phones or computers that we don't even realize how much it affects our well-being. I set a daily screen time limit for any non-work related use. At first, it felt strange. It was like something was missing, but soon, I realized that this missing time was actually an opportunity. With the time I saved, I rediscovered hobbies and interests I had set aside. Reading a good book, sketching, or even just taking a walk outside. One of the biggest changes happened in my sleep quality. Before, I would spend hours on my phone before bed, but when I replaced that with some quiet reading, I found I fell asleep faster and woke up feeling more refreshed. One night, I decided to take a walk around the neighborhood instead of scrolling on my phone. The quiet, the fresh air, and the connection with my surroundings were incredibly refreshing, like I was reconnecting with the real world. And now, this next habit brought a whole new perspective on how I organize my day and keep my mind clear. Habit 6. Daily check-ins. The sixth habit I adopted was doing daily check-ins, and this practice brought an incredible sense of clarity to my day-to-day life. Before this, I would go from one activity to the next without really stopping to reflect on what was working or what needed adjustment. But each evening, I started taking a few minutes to do a quick self-assessment. I started simply. I'd list 3 positive things that happened during the day and 1 thing I'd like to improve the next day. This small habit helped me celebrate my daily wins, no matter how small, and recognize where I could make adjustments. For example, during one of these reflections, I realized I felt more productive on the days when I started my morning with a detailed plan. This insight helped me transform my routine and boost my efficiency. These moments of reflection gave me a sense of purpose and direction. They allowed me to better understand my priorities and gave me the feeling that each day had its own unique value, that each day was an important step in the journey. And last but certainly not least, we're now at a habit that became my favorite and truly changed my perspective on life. Habit 7. Creating micro-moments of gratitude. The 7th and final habit that transformed my life was creating micro-moments of gratitude. It sounds small, almost insignificant, but believe me, this practice has the power to completely change the way we see the world around us. Every day, I chose a specific moment to reflect on at least one thing I was grateful for. It could be something simple, like a hot cup of coffee in the morning or someone's smile at work. As I started focusing on these moments, I noticed they were everywhere, and this brought me a steady sense of contentment and positivity. One day, while I was out for a walk, I looked up and saw the sky, painted in beautiful shades of blue with soft clouds, and I felt an immense sense of gratitude for that moment of peace. It was simple but transformative. These small moments of gratitude became like an antidote to stress and anxiety. They helped me appreciate the present and approach challenges with a lighter heart. I found that the more I expressed gratitude, the more reasons I found to be grateful, creating a positive cycle in my life. And so, with these 7 habits, I was able to reset my life in just 1 week. They're simple practices, but the impact they bring is profound. If these habits worked for me, I'm confident they can do the same for you. These were the 7 habits that reset my life in just 1 week. And as you've seen, These aren't complicated or inaccessible changes. They're small adjustments that anyone can make, yet they've had an impact far beyond what I expected. Each of these habits helped me see my daily life differently, bringing more clarity, balance, and purpose. So if any of these habits resonated with you, my invitation is simple. Choose just one to start with. Just one. Give yourself the chance to try something new and see how small changes can lead to big transformations. And if you enjoyed this content, let me know in the comments which habit you're thinking of adopting. I'd love to hear from you and follow along on your journey. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more tips and content like this. Sharing this video with someone who could benefit from these habits might just make a difference in their life, too. Remember, small changes, when done consistently, lead to big results. Let's walk this journey of growth together, one step at a time. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep being amazing